Have you ever stared at that little gray circle where a face used to be, feeling a sudden, sharp chill in your chest? You try to send a message and it bounces back, a digital wall slammed in your face. It feels like rejection, like you've been erased from existence. But what if I told you that block isn't a sign of their strength, but a confession of their absolute terror? Today, we're exposing the truth behind that wall. I know how it feels. You're sitting there, replaying every conversation, wondering what you did wrong this time to deserve the ultimate silence. It feels like they've finally won, doesn't it? Like they have the power to delete you with a single tap. You feel small, discarded, and desperate for an explanation. But I want you to take a breath and sit with me for a moment. Because what you're feeling is exactly what they want you to feel. We've been conditioned to think that being blocked means we are too much or that we've lost the game. We think it's a boundary. But a narcissist doesn't have boundaries, they have barriers. They don't block to find peace, they block to create chaos in your mind. It is a calculated move designed to keep you spinning in circles while they sit in the shadows, watching the fallout. It's time we stop looking at the wall and start looking at the person behind it. The central question you're asking is, why now? Why, after all the back and forth, did they suddenly cut the line? You were looking for closure or maybe just a bit of honesty, and instead, you got a digital execution. It feels personal, but I promise you it's purely structural. It's about the mechanics of their fragile ego. You weren't blocked because you're irrelevant. You were blocked because you became the most dangerous person in their universe. I see you. I see the way you're checking your phone every 10 minutes, hoping the unblock has happened. I see the way you're searching for answers in a void that offers nothing back. It's an exhausting way to live, being held hostage by a button. But the revelation I'm about to share is going to change the way you see that gray circle forever. You aren't the one in the dark, they are. And they are absolutely terrified of the light you're carrying. Think about the last time things were good. It was a lie, wasn't it? A carefully constructed performance. The moment you started asking questions they couldn't answer, the vibe shifted. The moment you stopped playing the role they wrote for you, the script became unmanageable. They didn't block you because they stopped caring. They blocked you because they couldn't control the narrative anymore. And for a narcissist, a narrative they can't control is a death sentence. This isn't just about social media. It's about the psychological space you occupy in their head. You think they've forgotten you, but the truth is, they have to block you because they can't forget you. You are a constant reminder of the truth they are trying to outrun. Every time your name pops up, it's a glitch in their system. It's a crack in the mirror they use to admire themselves. They aren't shutting you out, they are shutting themselves in. We're going to peel back the layers of this behavior, one by one. We're going to talk about the fear, the shame, and the absolute desperation that drives a person to erase someone they once claimed to love. This isn't a story about your rejection. It's a story about their retreat. They are running away from the only person who actually sees them for who they are. And that is the one thing a narcissist can never, ever allow. You've been playing by their rules for so long that you've forgotten what your own power feels like. You've let them define the terms of your connection. But today, the power shift begins. We are going to expose the real reason behind the block, and it's going to be the secret knowledge that finally sets you free. You're about to realize that the digital wall they built is actually a monument to your importance in their messy, fragmented life. Don't look away now. We're going deep into the belly of the beast. We're going to analyze the internal collapse that leads to the block. By the time we're done, you won't be checking your phone for their message. You'll be looking at that block as the greatest compliment they could ever give you. It's the final admission that they are not enough for you. Let's break down the psychology of why they are so incredibly afraid of your presence. To understand the block, you have to understand the narcissist's false self. Imagine a person who spends every waking hour building a beautiful, golden palace made of cardboard. It looks magnificent from a distance, but it can't stand up to a single drop of rain. You, my friend, are the rain. Your honesty, your memory, and your demand for reality are a direct threat to their cardboard kingdom. They have to block you to keep the palace from melting. The block is a tool for impression management. Inside their head, they are always the hero or the victim, never the villain. When you hold them accountable, you are introducing a version of them that they refuse to accept. If they keep you unblocked, they have to see your messages, your face, and your life. They have to face the evidence of their own cruelty. By blocking you, they aren't deleting you, they are deleting the witness to their crimes. Think of it like a stage play where they are the star. As long as you follow the script, you get to stay on stage. But the moment you start improvising, the moment you speak the truth, you become a bad actor. They have to pull the curtain on you. They have to kick you out of the theater so the rest of the audience doesn't hear what you have to say. The block is their way of ensuring that their fantasy remains undisturbed by the harsh reality of you. There is also the narcissistic injury to consider. When you finally stand up for yourself, it feels like a physical blow to them. Their ego is so fragile that even a small criticism feels like an assassination attempt. They block you because they lack the emotional skin to handle a real conversation. It's a primitive defense mechanism, like a child covering their ears and screaming, "I can't hear you." They are hiding from the pain of being seen. You might think they've moved on to someone better, someone they don't have to block. But the truth is, they've just found a new audience for the same old play. They need someone who doesn't know the truth yet. You are damaged goods to them because you know the secrets. You know the man behind the curtain is just a scared, hollow little boy. They don't block because they hate you. They block because they are ashamed of what you know. Let's talk about object permanence. To a narcissist, people are like appliances. When a toaster breaks, you don't argue with it. You put it in the garage or throw it away. When you stop functioning the way they want you to, you become a broken object. They block you because they don't view you as a human with feelings. They view you as a tool that no longer works. It's cold, it's blunt, and it's the reality of their disordered mind. They also use the block to manage their supply. If they are grooming a new victim, they can't have you popping up with the truth. You are a liability. They have to clear the deck to make room for the new lie. If you're blocked, you can't comment on their photos, you can't message their friends, and you can't disrupt the love-bombing phase of their next target. You are being silenced so that their next deception can succeed. It's also about the grandiosity gap. They want to believe they are so special that losing them should destroy you. By blocking you, they are trying to induce a state of panic. They want you to beg, to plead, and to use other accounts to reach them. This gives them a massive ego boost. It proves that they still matter. If they didn't block you, they wouldn't get to see you struggle. The block is a lure, designed to make you chase them. But here is the secret they don't want you to know. The block is a sign of their obsession. You don't block someone you truly don't care about. You just ignore them. You forget they exist. But the narcissist can't do that. They have to actively click your profile and hit that button. It's a deliberate, high-energy act. They are thinking about you in the very moment they try to erase you. You are living rent-free in the one place they want to be alone. They are trapped in a cycle of idealization and devaluation. Right now, you are in the devaluation phase, which feels like the end of the world. But remember, the cycle always repeats. They block you now to punish you, but they keep the door a tiny bit cracked in their mind. They want the option to unblock you later when they need a fix. The block isn't a permanent goodbye, it's a temporary pause in a game they never intend to stop playing. Everything changes the moment you stop reacting. Up until now, the block has worked perfectly for them. You've sent the emails, you've called from blocked numbers, you've asked your friends to check on them. You've given them exactly what they wanted, proof of your misery. But what happens when the silence from your side becomes even louder than theirs? What happens when you finally stop trying to climb over their wall? This is the moment the power shifts, and it's a psychological plot twist they never see coming. When you stop chasing, the narcissist begins to feel a new kind of anxiety. They start to wonder if the block actually worked too well. They wanted to punish you, but they didn't want you to actually move on. They wanted you to be waiting at the gate. When the gate stays empty, their sense of control begins to crumble. It's a quiet, slow-burn collapse. Suddenly, the person who deleted you is the one checking your profile from a fake account. They are scrolling through your Instagram at 2 a.m., looking for a sign that you are hurting. They are looking for a post, a quote, or a photo that proves you are still thinking about them. And when they see you smiling or working or just living your life without them, that is the moment the block backfires. The wall they built is now keeping them out. You see, the narcissist needs you to be the stuck one. They need to be the one who moved on while you stayed in the ruins. When you reclaim your life, you are essentially telling them that their block didn't work. You are showing them that you don't need their permission to exist. This is a devastating blow to their ego. The person they tried to erase has become a vivid, colorful reality that they can no longer reach. And then it stops. Just like that. The shift in power isn't loud. It's a series of small, quiet realizations. It's the moment you realize you haven't checked their page in 3 days. It's the moment you realize you don't care if they ever unblock you again. You've stopped being the audience, and without an audience, the narcissist is just a lonely actor on a dark stage. They are performing for no one, and the silence is starting to get very, very cold for them. They will try to poking the wall. They might unblock you for an hour just to see if you notice. They might post something they know you'll see through a mutual friend. These are all tests. They are trying to regain the information flow. They are desperate to know if they still have a hook in you. If you don't bite, if you remain a void, you are winning a war you didn't even know you were fighting. You are becoming a mystery again. Imagine their frustration. They spent all that time trying to make you feel invisible, only to realize that you've become the only thing they want to see. They are trapped in a prison of their own making. Every time they think about you, they have to confront the fact that they threw away a diamond to play with stones. The block was supposed to be your prison, but it's become theirs. They are the ones locked away from the truth of your value. This is the no-contact magic that everyone talks about, but few understand. It's not about being mean. It's about becoming unmanageable. You are no longer a variable they can account for in their equations. You are a wild card. And for a person who survives on predictability and control, a wild card is a nightmare. They will try to reach out, or they will find a way to accidentally run into you. But you are already miles away. You're starting to see the man behind the curtain now, aren't you? You're seeing the frantic, messy reality of their internal world. The block wasn't a strategic move by a genius. It was a panicked retreat by a coward. It was the only thing they could do to stop the bleeding of their own ego. And now that you know this, the gray circle doesn't look so scary anymore. It looks like a white flag. It looks like a surrender. Take a moment to sit with this new reality. The person who tried to delete you is the one who is actually being erased. By refusing to play the game, you have won the game. You've taken back the keys to your own peace. The wall is still there, but you've realized that you don't want to be on the other side of it anyway. Why would you want to be in a cardboard palace when the whole world is waiting for you outside? The shift is complete. Now we face the dark, unflinching truth of the aftermath. When a narcissist blocks you, they are attempting a social murder. They want to kill the version of you that exists in their world so they can replace it with a lie. But the consequence of this is a total internal collapse. By cutting you off, they have severed their connection to reality. They are now living in a vacuum of their own making, surrounded only by people who don't truly know them. The silence you are feeling is the sound of their soul withering. They have to work twice as hard now to maintain their false self. Every new person they meet is a new performance, a new lie to keep track of. Without your grounded energy, they are drifting further and further into their own delusions. The consequence for them is a life of shallow, meaningless interactions. They are the captains of a sinking ship, and they've just thrown their only anchor overboard. Look at the details of their life now. It looks perfect on the outside, doesn't it? The new photos, the new best friends, the constant activity. But look closer. It's frantic. It's hollow. There is no depth, no history, and no truth. They are running from room to room, trying to keep the lights on, but the power is failing. The block was the beginning of the end for them. They lost the only person who was willing to see the darkness and still stay. The real consequence is the repeated cycle. They will do to the next person exactly what they did to you. They are stuck in a psychological Groundhog Day, forever searching for a perfection they can never find. They are doomed to be disappointed by everyone they meet, because no one can ever live up to the fantasy in their head. While you are healing and growing, They are simply repeating the same mistakes with a different face. You've been told that they are happy, but that's the biggest lie of all. A narcissist is never happy, they are only satisfied for a moment. They are a bottomless pit of need. The block was a desperate attempt to find satisfaction elsewhere, but the hunger always returns. They are carrying their misery into every new relationship, like a virus that they can't get rid of. You didn't lose a partner, you escaped a contagion. Let that land. There is a specific kind of loneliness that comes for the narcissist in the middle of the night. It's the realization that they have pushed away everyone who truly cared. They have surrounded themselves with yes men and superficial mirrors. When things go wrong, and they always do, there is no one left to call. They are alone in a crowd of their own making. The block was the final brick in the wall of their own isolation. They are finally safe from you, and they are miserable. They might try a smear campaign as a last resort. They will tell everyone that you were the abusive one, that they had to block you for their own safety. This is a standard tactic to protect their image. It hurts, I know. It feels like a second betrayal. But the consequence for them is that they eventually run out of people to lie to. People aren't as stupid as the narcissist thinks. Eventually, the pattern becomes obvious to everyone. The harsh truth is that they never loved you, because they can't love anyone. They only love the way you made them feel. When you stopped making them feel like a god, you became a reminder of their humanity. And they hate their humanity. The block is a rejection of the human part of themselves that they saw reflected in your eyes. They are trying to become a machine, but the machine is breaking down. The consequences are inevitable. You are finally being told what you always knew deep down. They are not okay. They were never okay. The block was the most honest thing they ever did. It was a confession that they cannot handle a real relationship. They are emotionally disabled, and you were trying to teach a blind person how to see colors. The consequence of their blindness is that they will never see the beauty of the life you are building without them. That is their loss, not yours. The collapse is complete when you stop caring about the collapse. When their misery no longer brings you joy or pain, but just a sense of distant pity. You've seen the wreckage, you've smelled the smoke, and you've walked away from the crash site. They are still there, picking through the debris, trying to find something to save. But you are already gone. The block is finally permanent, not because they did it, but because you finished it. We are stepping out of the wreckage now. The smoke is clearing, and for the first time in a long time, the air is clean. You've spent so long looking at that wall, but I want you to turn around and look at the horizon. You aren't recovering from a person, you are recovering from a war. And you survived. The final truth isn't about what they did to you, it's about the fact that they couldn't finish what they started. You are still here. Healing isn't about forgetting, it's about integrating. It's taking the pain, the betrayal, and the confusion and turning them into wisdom. You now have a superpower that most people don't have. You can see the unseen. You can feel the shift in the air when a manipulator enters the room. You've been through the narcissistic university, and you've graduated with honors. Your trauma wasn't a waste, it was an education in your own strength. I want to speak directly to your pain for a moment. It's okay that it still hurts. It's okay that you still have bad days. You loved a ghost, and grieving a ghost is the hardest kind of grief there is. But the pain you're feeling is just the echo of the explosion. The explosion itself is over. Every day you wake up and choose yourself, the echo gets a little quieter. You aren't broken, you are just being forged into something much stronger. The block was actually a gift you didn't ask for. It was the universe's way of forcibly removing a toxin from your system. You couldn't let go, so the narcissist did it for you. It was a brutal, ugly kindness. They saved you from a lifetime of being a supply. They gave you the silence you needed to hear your own voice again. The block wasn't the end of your story, it was the clearance you needed to start a better one. You are the architect of your own peace now. You get to decide who enters your garden and who stays outside the wall. You've learned that a no is a complete sentence. You've learned that your peace is more important than someone else's comfort. You've learned that you don't have to explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. You are finally, undeniably, and beautifully free. Think about the person you were before the block. You were constantly on edge, constantly explaining, constantly hoping for a change that was never coming. Now, look at the person you are becoming. You are quieter, but you are deeper. You are more selective, but you are more authentic. You've traded a cheap, toxic drama for a grounded, real life. It's a trade you would make 1,000 times over if you could see the future. The narcissist might unblock you one day. They might send a "hey" or a "thinking of you" message. When that happens, and it might, I want you to remember this feeling. I want you to remember the clarity you have right now. You don't need to respond. You don't need to get the last word. The last word was the silence you maintained when they tried to erase you. That silence is your victory. It is your ultimate, exposed moment. You are a warrior who has returned from the front lines. You have the scars to prove it, but those scars are just maps of where you've been. They don't define where you're going. You are moving toward a life filled with real people, people who can handle your truth, your beauty, and your mess. You are moving toward a love that doesn't require a false self. You are moving toward yourself. And that is the most beautiful destination of all. Take a final look at that digital wall. It's just a line of code in a machine. It has no power over your heart, your worth, or your future. It's a tiny, insignificant thing compared to the vastness of your potential. You have been unblocked from the universe. You are now free to grow, to thrive, and to love without fear. The cage door is open, and you've realized that you were the one who had the key all along. They didn't block you because you are a memory they want to forget. They blocked you because you are a truth they can no longer afford to face.